Thank you. I would like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to participate at the Olympic Education Forum and to share with you some reflection about physical literacy. My presentation is based on one Erasmus Plus sport project that we are having now. This is Physical Literacy for Life, and this is a work in progress. So we are in the piloting phase, actually, and I will share the reflection with you. The project is made with some partners, with ISCA, the International Sport and Culture Association, the European Physical Education Association. Dean Dudley is also part of the project, and IPLA as some of the partners that we have. The objective of the project is to give PE teacher, coaches, trainers, citizens a toolkit to develop physical literacy for life, and also to recognize physical literacy as one of the key competencies in the curriculum and in the program in the club. So one of the challenge that we had was the language. As you can imagine, physical literacy is not easy to define as a concept. So when we have 8 different languages, it was also very interesting. This is one of the challenges that we have. So physical literacy involves a continuum of learning, giving individuals the possibility to achieve their goal. And today we are going to see and to discuss together what is physical literacy. You will also have experts during the day completing, I'm sure, the reflection that we'll do now. Why it is important, what is our level of physical literacy, and how we can contribute to its development. To start with, I will start with literacy. Literacy is a complex concept which continues to be interpreted and defined in multiple ways, as you know. The United Nations resolution already in 2002 acknowledged the place of literacy as the heart of lifelong learning. And for physical literacy, this is also one very important part of the reflection. It also acknowledges its fundamental role for the attainment of essential skills that enable people of all ages to address the challenge they may face in life. Furthermore, literacy represents one of the essential steps in basic education, an important means for effective participation in the societies and economies in the 21st century. So something very actual also for us. UNESCO has kept emphasizing the need for new forms of literacy. In 2017, this relates particularly to new technology, of course, such as digital literacy, information literacy, mass media literacy, and so on, which are increasingly taken into account in the curriculum. This is not the case with physical literacy, but we'll come back to this. The concept of literacy recognizes that humans learn for different reasons, whether for survival, social connection, or self-actualization. But learning to move could even be considered as the first literacy we truly need to acquire as humans, at least well before we need to learn to read, to write, to comprehend, or to calculate. The ability to move with confidence and competence, using all the physical assets one has at their disposal at any given point across varying contexts, this is part of physical literacy. So what is physical literacy? This is we have different definitions, and we are not going to discuss all the definitions, but I will use the definition that we choose for our project. So physical literacy is the skills and attributes that individuals demonstrate through physical activity and movement across their life course. It means that if we are progressing, if our clients or if our students are progressing, we should see a difference in their behavior, because this is always the question: how do you see that something is happening? So we should see a difference in the behavior. It can be understood as a process and an outcome. So the process is the way, this is the journey, and the outcomes are the progress, the success, the learning outcomes, the learning results that we have, and the elements that you will have to connect coming from different domains are going to build up this physical literacy. The 4 domains in physical literacy that we have as in different concepts as well are the physical domain, the cognitive domain, the social domain, and the emotional domain. And those domains are all interrelated. I will take an example. If I learn how to ski, which is an object of locomotion type skill, learning to ski is not directly linked with social understanding, maybe, but this is a cultural understanding, at least in my country. So because skiers are very territorial, I need to link that with an emotional experience, like the connection to the environment. I can also ski with friends on a resort with other people in a wild environment. So the more bonds and learning elements that I can piece together around different types of movement, the more likely that I will be able to pursue them across my entire life. To connect the elements, this is the strength of the physical literacy. Physical literacy is elemental. You have probably heard Dean Dudley saying this, like in the conference in Umeå, the International Physical Literacy Conference. He likes to think of all the different components as part of a periodic chart, like the Mendeleev table. I like this way to see the physical literacy. So we all have some element already, some of the learning element, whether in social, cognitive, emotional, or physical. We may not have all of them, for sure not. Even Mendeleev didn't start with all of them. And we need to connect them. People with high level of physical literacy have more elements and more connections. This also could be seen as Lego bricks, like if we speak with the children. And the more you have, the more you are able to construct. But you need to know which brick to use where, like in the connection environment. So what makes people pursue physical activity across the lifespan? When those elements bond with other elements, so they turn into this movement compound. But as we heard already from the pre-opponent, we cannot succeed alone. So this is very important. Then important institution, organization also are involved in this development of physical literacy. I will start with the European policy context. Of course, the key competence and basic skill development. Sorry. If you read the key competence in the EU curriculum, there is no sign of physical literacy. But if you go into the recommendation, you will read, at least in the introduction, that everyone has the right to quality and inclusive education, training and lifelong learning that develops key competence and basic skills. Key competence and basic skills are needed by all for personal fulfillment and development, employability, social inclusion, and active citizenship. The competence is based on a positive attitude. You remember we have this attitude also in the definition of physical literacy towards one personal, social, and physical well-being and learning throughout one's life. So we see that physical literacy may not be recognized directly as one of the key competences, but at least at one of the transversal competences. UNESCO is involved in physical literacy since a very long time and developing also supporting different projects to develop inclusive child-centered school policies and processes driven by physical literacy. These policies promote physical literacies and values-based learning as part of rounded development and global education priorities, such that we find in the SDG 4. And this is also what we can find in the Kazan Declaration Action Plan, in the Kazan Action Plan. As we just, as we had the chance to listen now, just before, the WHO is also involved in developing physical literacy. And if you have a look in the recommended action for the WHO member state, you will find very clearly the physical literacy as incorporating physical literacy across the life course and the ability range. This is in the recommendation to the member. So WHO is contributing to the development of this of physical literacy. If you go to the OECD Future of Education and Skills 2030 project, this is a highlight on 3 foundations is particularly important. Cognitive foundation, which include literacy and numeracy. Health foundation, including physical and mental health and well-being. Social and emotional foundation, including moral and ethics and digital literacy and data literacy. So this is the first time that in OECD we have a clear focus on physical and health education. And also if you take the different elements, then you can build up a part of the physical literacy. And as we are here in the Olympic Forum, in the Olympic value education in the preface, there is a concern about children having maybe not very positive experience in sport and physical activity. And I would say that when we talk to people about physical literacy, we tend to talk about it within strength-based thinking, identifying people's strengths. We work through positive previous experience. So I believe that physical literacy as a concept of learning may contribute to the change mentioned in the preface of the Olympic value education to include all persons in a project of a lifelong physical activities. So why is physical literacy important? We learn to read, to write, to count, to calculate, but also to walk, to crawl, to run. We don't just get them. We learn them because we need to survive. We learn other skills to become part of the largest social group. I repeat it, but this is so important to position literacy as a concept of learning. Physical literacy is the golden thread that radiates through all kinds of physical activity and active life. And the human learn for different reasons, as we say, and physical literacy becomes self-evident as individuals engage with the work and learn to move for those different reasons. In our society, we need this physical literacy. This is about education. This is also about good health. We promote and value physical literacy. We know that we need to lead more sustainable and active life. And the new generation, who is in the front line, as the minister just said, and the first ladies as well. The new generation are living longer, and they need to be in good health. They need to learn after the formal education. They need to take care of the planet, as we do actually. Physical literacy as a concept can be applied to all facets, and we will not succeed alone. So we need to get all these people talking together, contributing where they are the best. So I would say where or why is physical literacy in education, or what is the place of the educator, the task of educator? Physical literacy is in a concept that asks educators to celebrate each individual's strength and to use this as a foundation for learning and, of course, for teaching. To live meaningful and healthy lives through physical activity, through sport, through recreation, through leisure. So it doesn't stop at in the school environment. Educators can make a number of organizational decisions and develop content in ways that students learn new and complex movement sequences. There are also references to scientific documents and to research in learning theory and progression that will again have meaningful implications for our work in teacher. But I will not have a scientific presentation today. This is more practical, representing what we are looking for in the project. So this process is a lifelong journey, as we see, and every individual engaged in physical activity. What is important is based on their disposition and learning, and also outside the formal institution. The second part of physical literacy, there are also more, but I just choose education in a large way, and health. And as the Dr. Vikramasinghe said, he was speaking about HEPA. And he also said that despite evidence on the benefits of health enhancing physical activity, so the HEPA, not all the countries have developed health and in all policies, and specifically integrate HEPA in the policy. We choose in our project the model from Carney and al. In 2019 to show the important link between physical literacy and health, and to support the cross the barrier and levers for adapting cross-sectoral HEPA, and of course also the same thing in physical activity. The example that is giving is arguing from a pragmatic perspective of physical literacy, presenting evidence for positioning physical literacy as a determinant of health form from literature source as well, like association between motor competence, physical activity, health, and typically developing children. This is important that we see that this is always this part. We need those elements, we need to connect those elements, and we need to have the different stakeholders building up the same construct. Then we could also think about ourselves. So where am I on my physical literacy journey? What can I do? Physical literacy is determined by finding a place of comfort. So where is my comfort in terms of how I move? What did I acquire? What I need to learn, and what is my position, and what are my strengths? So in the project, we are using also the questionnaire. We reorganize, or we resolve the questionnaire used by the Australian sport administration. And we have one questionnaire for the teacher, the coach, and the PE teacher, and one for the citizen, where we can ask ourselves, where am I in this situation? So I would like to share with you this questionnaire very briefly, to say to give you also the possibility to assess yourself about your physical literacy journey. So I will escape the biographical part of the questionnaire, because this is not necessary. So, and I will start. We are working with the 4 domains. So I will start with the physical domain. So you see that you have 3 questions. Apply various combination of movement competency, manipulating the body, acquiring component of fitness. Then you can choose one. I don't know if it works, but that's okay. Okay, and then you can just choose. I just showed this how it works, and when you have answered the different question about the physical domain. Now we are still in the physical domain. You will have the link, so if you have interest, you can just look more in details on the project. Then you can give a good example. So I was giving ski, so I will use this one. So then you have the feedback from all level. I think this is what is interesting for the citizens who are alone and would like just to check where they are. This is without scientific pretension, but this is a good help for the practice. Then if you see the level 1, So you are already taking your first step, and then what you should do, building your fitness so that you can participate and so on, exploring different movements. And this is the same for every question. So I will not show you all the question here, but this is the way to have a self-assessment. The questionnaire for the PE teacher and the coach and trainer is more about their practice. So if they are teaching and when they are teaching, are they thinking of this element of the physical literacy? I don't see if you. Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry, I think it went back to our. So how can we implement the physical literacy? I would just use those four points. We need to have a priority to be very clear, provide positive learning environment. We have to focus on physical literacy, on the development of individual physical competence, attitude toward physical activity, knowledge and understanding. And we have to have very clear orientation towards encouraging everyone to be physically active and to create a safe and inclusive learning environment in the 4 domains. We could also, of course, have a kind of guide for the practitioner and to ensure that everybody is included in and challenged according to their capability, to provide a wide range of experience, to ensure that the activities are relevant, to value knowledge and to celebrate progress and success. You probably, some of you probably know the Australian Sport Government Australia. So I choose also this part that we reorganize a little bit with their accord for our project. Interesting is that the first part are the areas, so the culture, organization, and environment, with the leader, the policy, and the environment. Then we have the program that we need. So the basic program and the inclusive program. So this is like in the school, this is the physical education, but also the sport in the school, the break, the active break, the commuting, active commuting to school and so on. And then the professional development to have quality physical education teacher or quality trainers or coaches. And then we need partners to be able to reach our goal. So the local community, the club, the families, and at the international level, as we saw, the different institutions and also the organization. And for us, what is going on now? So I would like to say that we have to be very humble, I think, and keep in mind that we don't need to master all the domain. We can choose a few skills to work on at a time. And what we focus on will depend on our current skills, circumstances, and goals. And the holistic learning enables people to draw on these integrated skills to lead healthy and fulfilling lives through movement and physical activity, a lifelong learning time and physical literacy journey. So I would like to share with you a video about physical literacy. This is more an introduction to physical literacy, but I'm interested to have your comment about this. This is to share our concern about physical literacy, also with very beginner or newcomer in the world of physical literacy. Thank you very much. And thank you for giving the video, please.
What is physical literacy? Physical literacy is our engagement in physical activity throughout life. It represents all the skills, knowledge, and attitudes that we develop through diverse activities. It doesn't matter whether we run, skate, dance, jump, play basketball, or just ball. It doesn't matter even how old or how trained we are. We can always improve our skills, our abilities, and learn to enjoy moving. We can practice our favorite activities and develop our confidence and competence, whether it's by ourselves or together with friends. But most importantly, physical literacy helps us maintain our health, well-being, and it's our motivation to stay active for life. Start today, be active every day.